Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to add a baby villager filter to any villager breeder. Now I'm going to show you how to add it to the quadpod villager breeder, but this can be added to any villager breeder. Now first of all, you want to get in and you want to turn the villager breeder off. If you can turn your breeder off, you're probably better off turning it off. If you don't have an on-off switch, then you'll need to get at the top and break all of the doors temporarily just to disable your breeder. You don't want babies being born while you're digging holes underneath it. Then you want to just get inside and turn off the water. And when I say turn it off, I just mean delete it. You don't need it for the second. So now you've got that. Then you want to get rid of your villager mechanism that takes villagers out of the farm. Now you want to put all of this safe because you are going to need it later, but for the time being we just need it out of the way. Now we need to extend this building. So what you want to do now is come across another 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want to completely build a wall around the bottom that's the same size as the wall for your breeder, like that. And then you want to build the sides up with glass to the same size, like that, and then you just want to stick a roof on it. So now you've got something that looks like that. Now you've done that, we need to get back inside the farm and do a little bit of digging. So you want to get into this corner, just here. So all your babies, we're going to put some water over there. All your babies are going to come over here. They're going to fall down this hole. So you need to dig down 2 blocks. And then you need to dig that way another 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And then you want to dig that way another 2 blocks. 1, 2. And dig that out. Like that. And then you just want to pop out those 4 blocks there, so you've got a bit of a step up. This is purely so you can see inside it. You don't need to we're going to cover this with glass. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I just like the idea of being able to see the little babies in there growing up. So now you should have something that looks like that. Now you want to get back down here again, and you need to put a wall of glass down here. 2, 3, 4. So you need to put a 4x2 wall down there, leaving a gap underneath where your babies are going to fall down. So babies are going to fall down into here, and then they're going to be forced this way. Now you need to put a water source block just there. So now any babies that fall down, any babies that fall down here are going to fall into this water and get pushed this way. Now you need to put a glass block just there, bang in the middle. It's the 3rd block in. So you've got 1, 2, and then you need to put it there. It's important that you put it there because entities and villagers react differently in water now. They don't fall down as deep in water. Normally I'd have had, well, in previous versions I'd have had that block 1 block further along. They'd have fallen into this and then gone underneath the glass block, but in 1.13 they don't. So we need the extra block where the water starts to go down for them to jump up and down and then go underneath this block. If you put that 1 further that way, then the village is just going to jump up and down. They'll never go underneath this block. So we need to do that like that. Now grab a couple of signs. You need to put a sign there and a sign there, like that. And then you want to grab a couple of temporary blocks and just put them at the top, just like that. We're going to put source blocks of water in there, but we'll do that when we get inside because we need to put flowing water running into that corner, and we can't do that if these have got water source blocks in them. So stick down a couple of temporary blocks just there and then fill the rest of that wall in with solid glass. And then you just need to fill the rest of this hole in with your glass block. Now again, that's just there so you can see in, which I like. If you wanted to just fill that with solid blocks so you can't see in there, that's entirely up to you. It won't affect It won't affect your farm at all. It won't affect your breeder at all. But you won't be able to see your little babies in there and how many you've got. So now you should have something that looks like that. Now you can jump back in the main part of your breeder again and stick down your source block of water directly opposite the hole. Now I've got quite a big breeder here. It's a quad breeder. If you've only got the monopod, the single monopod breeder, and you put a block of water source in the corner like that, it's going to flow and go straight down that hole, which is, it's not a problem, but you have to stop it from going down the hole, because if the water flows down that hole, the babies aren't going to go down the hole. So if the water comes to the end and then flows down in one of the smaller breeders, just stick a sign there like that. You won't be able to see it from the outside, but it will stop the water from going down that hole. Don't make the mistake of putting it there, because if you do that, let me see if I can demonstrate. Big fan of demonstrations. If you put it down there like that, the water will still flow over that hole, and then the babies are going to get to here and they won't go down the hole because there's water in it. Okay, they'll just bob up and down there. They won't go down. So that sign needs to be there, so it stops the water and they can fall down the hole. But we don't need it in the quad pod because it's big enough for the water not to go there in the first place. So now your little babies are going to get to the end, fall down and go over here. Now we need to get in the other side, the newly built side, and we need to stick a water source block in the left hand corner as you're looking at it. So your babies are going to come down there, they're going to go into there, into that gap, they're going to sit there until they grow up, and then they're going to come up into this breeder, into this sorted side, and you want them to flow into this corner. So we need to put this water source block over there, and that's why we put the temporary blocks in, because if we hadn't, that water would just fall straight down and it wouldn't flow that way, and we need it to flow into this corner. Now you can remove those two temporary blocks. The water's going to flow down to the bottom like that, and also it's going to flow over to the back. So now any baby villagers that fall down into there, they'll go into the holding area. When they grow up, their heads are going to go into that water block. They'll then rise up to the top and get forced down to this back corner here. So now you can pop the glass back on the front and you've got something that looks like that. So now all that's left to do is put back in the minecart extraction system that's going to get the adult villagers out of the breeder once they've grown up. So you want to come round to the back, and where the wall is, you need to dig out those 3 blocks, and your minecart is going to go in there. So if you can, replace that with a redstone block. If you can't afford to, just pop out a couple of blocks, stick a torch at the bottom, and then you can cover that block with cover the torch with a block, and now that block is always powered like that. And then you want to stick down a normal rail, another normal rail, step up once more, a powered rail, another step up, and then a detector rail. And then we want to stick a torch underneath that block, underneath the powered rail there, so it's always powered like that. Build the wall back up again, and then this is where all of your adult villagers are going to go to once they've left the breeder. So we're just going to have them whizzing off the edge again. Like that. So now when we put a minecart on there, it's just going to bob up and down. So we'll just get rid of the minecart for a second. Back around this side, you need to put a block there, and we need to put a dispenser back on that. And then a torch torch on the back next to the dispenser that's on the same block as your detector rail. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, you've probably already built this over there, but I just wanted to make, in case you're building this brand new, I just wanted to make sure that you understand how to do it. So do that, and then you need to grab a hopper, stick it on the side of your dispenser, and then a couple of chests on the top. Now you can fill your chests full of your minecarts again. Stick a minecart on the rails. And now that's ready to go. So now all we have to do is turn the breeder back on again. Now I have noticed that I'm flying about in creative, and obviously it's easy to get up the top when you're in creative. In survival it's not. So what I suggest you do is just pop out the corner, put a couple of blocks in there, and then just put a ladder up the side. Just like that. It doesn't look too bad. Then you can climb up the top, feed them if you need to. I've already climb up the top and not fall off. I've already fed them lots, so they should be fully fed. Turn the breeder on. Up goes that fella. Hello, mate. He might pick up food. Whoa. He might pick up food. He's low enough. If you feed them while he's down at the bottom, he might pick up food, which is a minor problem in that you'll probably waste 8 stacks of food that he picks up. But he won't be able to breed with the villagers at the bottom because they need to be touching each other in order to breed. Unless that changes, or unless there is a bug that I don't know about, although he's got food and he's within when he's down at the bottom, he'll be in close proximity. He won't be able to touch a villager down there, so he shouldn't be able to breed. Let me know if that's not the case in your breeder, and then I'll have to do something about it. But as far as I am aware, he won't be able to breed because he will not be able to touch the other villagers. So now we just have to sit here and wait for some baby. Oh look, there's already a baby down there. Already a little baby down there while I was talking. So he's fallen down, he's dropped into the chute, he's gone along, and he's landed at the bottom. He will try and run back into the water every so often, but because there's a glass block just above that last piece of water, there you go, he won't be able to jump into the water above him. If we'd have used a sign at the top instead of a piece of glass, he'd have just gone straight across and straight up and then out the back. But because we've used a piece of glass down there, he can never, and I'll say never reservedly because I've tested this for hours and I've never had one do it yet. That's not to say that it won't happen, it's just to say that I've never had it happen. They've never been able to jump into that water source and go up the top until they've grown up. So now we'll wait for another few to go down there. There we go, let's just watch this guy do it. Perfect. So now I'll stand here for 20 minutes, wait for that to fill up, and then we'll hopefully watch a grown-up go up the top. So I've been sat here now for about 20 minutes, so the little fella should start growing up any minute now. So hopefully we'll be able to see one grow into an adult and then go down the back and get taken away by the minecart. And also I've just done a quick head count down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's 10 in there. So we've got 10 babies in 20 minutes, and obviously they're just about to have some more. So 10 babies in 20 minutes is one every 2 minutes. I think that's pretty quick. In the past I've had more. In fairness, in the past I've had less. But one every 2 minutes is not a bad return on a breeder. So hopefully we'll get an adult in there any second. Brilliant. So we've had an adult, he's grown up, he's disappeared just as another baby comes along. So he's gone down the back, been picked up by the minecart, off he goes to the trading hall. Fantastic. And we will always have a constant supply of little baby villagers in there, providing you keep it switched on and you keep them all fed. Look at it, they're falling out the sky. If you put more pods in there, you can have as many as you like. I mean, you can have a proper industrial one if you want to, but you have to be careful down the bottom because this the storage area for the babies, it's only 2 blocks wide. If you get 20, 30 or 40 baby villagers in there, they might start to cram, they might start to die, they'll certainly get forced back into the water, so they might start to suffocate. So any more than 4 pods in your breeder, you might just want to extend that out a little bit so that you don't get them crammed or drowned. So that's how you make the little baby sorter that sorts out all your babies from your adults prior to them going off to the trading hall. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, everybody. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like, and if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.